12 minutes after 8 o'clock now to a new movie hitting theaters on June 5th. It's called The Hangover. Now, it's about a comedy. It is a comedy about a bachelor party that got a little out of control. Take a look.
What happened last night?
Am I missing a tooth?
Oh. Whose baby is that?
Well, who hasn't had a weekend like that? The Hangover features Philadelphia's own Bradley Cooper. You may remember him from Yes Man, He's Just Not That Into You, and Wedding Crashers. Good morning. Nice to have you with us.
Hey,
Thank you.
morning.
Great to be here.
This looks great. We'll talk new movie in a second, but first, I'm a huge fan of Wedding Crashers. And I knew that was fictional and not true because, come on, Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn, they're not going to steal a girl from you.
Oh, interesting. I never thought of that.
What was it like being with those guys?
That was a dream. I mean, those two guys and Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
I mean, that was incredible. And Rachel McAdams. There were a lot of great people in that movie.
Right.
Well, speaking of great people, let's talk about this movie. I have to tell you, between The Wedding Crashers and now this movie, The Hangover, where they take their buddy to Vegas for a bachelor party, and then now the bride has to chew her fingernails, worrying if he's going to be back in time. This is like a bride-to-be's worst nightmare. Both of these movies. But anyway, here's my thing: is it just as fun playing this movie or being in this movie and filming this movie? Because even the previews are hilarious.
Yeah, I've been lucky. Hopefully this movie will be just as much of a success as Wedding Crashers, because it's all about the filmmaker, Todd Phillips, who did the Old School and Starsky and Hutch and Road Trip. He just knows exactly the kind of tone he wants to set. I think this is his best movie to date.
It's funny because, and I want to ask you about what it's like being on the set when you make movies like this, because not even having heard of the movie, I saw the clip, and you start laughing without knowing the story.
Right.
So what's it like making a movie like this?
It's interesting. This one particularly was so difficult because we shot it in Vegas. We lived at Caesar's Palace for a month and a half.
What was that like?
I mean, you can imagine. It was hell. I mean, it really was. You think about Vegas, you can make it for maybe 4 days, but a month and a half at Caesar's Palace is just like the mouth of the devil. But but it was tough because also we get the crap kicked out of each other, so ourselves. So it was we felt like we did like a war movie together or something.
Where's the stuntmen?
Yeah, I know. Where were they?
Yeah.
I love that there's a stunt baby. There's a scene there.
There were stunt
there's a scene there I was
babies.
going to show you guys, but we just didn't have the time. Where I just leave it at that. I'm just hoping the baby wasn't a real baby at all times. Let's just say that.
Well, yeah, there were 8 of them. There were 4 sets. There were 4 sets of twins.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, because it's all
Because of the laws of
that makes
Right.
working
sense.
hours.
That makes sense. Here's my thing. We're talking about this movie, but we were looking at what you have coming up after this.
Right.
I don't know how you have time to sleep. You've got some movies with Renee Zellweger, Robin Williams, Sandra Bullock. Can you talk to us about what's on your docket, so to speak?
Labor Day. There's a movie I did called All About Steve, where I play actually a cameraman in a CNN cameraman anchor thing with Thomas Hayden Church, and Ken Jeong, who plays Mr. Chow in the movie, who's the bad guy in this movie, is in that. And then I did this movie called New York, I Love You, with the Hughes brothers that comes out October 16th. So it's a good
Life
time.
is good for you, huh?
Going back to Vegas anytime soon?
God, no.
Now tell us where you're from. I mean, we said you're a Philadelphia native, so we've got to get those things in.
Born and raised in Jenkintown, Pennsylvania. My family, my mother grew up in South Philly. My father grew up in North Philly, Olney and Roman and Temple and Temple University and Villanova. Yeah, so I'm born and bred.
It's funny when you came in, you went right over to Anthony. You were like,
Yeah.
hey, I remember those beach stories.
Well,
this brings back memories.
I know. Yeah, I grew up going to Brigantine. You remember Brigantine Castle?
Of course.
Yeah, in New Jersey. Yeah.
That's funny. So here's my thing. When you go, do you live in Hollywood? Where do you live?
I live in Venice, California.
Oh, you're in California. Yeah. People say, ooh, he's linked to Cameron Diaz. Ooh, he's linked to Jennifer Aniston. What's that like? It's definitely a contrast.
How tough is your life?
It's very hard.
Right. Oh, Jennifer Aniston.
Very hard life. Yeah. You say that with disdain.
Well, no. I mean, I've seen Jennifer Aniston in the movies and on TV.
But me too. If my life was what it says on the internet, it would be amazing.
Well, that's why we have to ask, because it sounds, quite frankly, amazing.
Yeah, no, but it's not. That's not my life.
So none of that's true.
None of that's true.
Really?
Yeah, no. I mean, I know her. I know Jennifer Aniston. A little bit, but no, it's not.
Does it bother you when you read stuff like that?
Luckily I don't read it, but I have plenty of friends that email me. I get a kick out of it. I mean, so far I find it hilarious.
Especially because the girls on this mantle are pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, how bad could it be? It's like, I hate that I'm linked to these people. I mean, are you kidding me? It's a joke.
They're like fabulous. I would say yes, actually. I date all of them.
Right.
So then when you come back,
I get in trouble because it's not true.
That's true.
Very true.
All right, so you're back. What's the one thing you have to do?
I'd like to go to Pat's before I leave.
There you go.
I like to do that.
That's the favorite.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll do that.
There you go. Bradley Cooper, thank you so much for coming in
Thank
this morning.
you.
Good
Thanks
luck
for
to
having
you.
me.
We look forward. This one comes out June 5th.
June 5th.
And then the rest of
Right.
them, I'm sure you're about to.
Yeah, but this is a good one. This is a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're looking forward
Well,
to it.
if we just saw 15 seconds, who knows what happens the rest of the movie?
Right. We're looking forward to it.
It's very
I just
good.
hope that he gets back in time for the wedding.
I do too. I do too.
All right. Thank you, Bradley. All right.